Hi students, this is an overview video for the next module, week 2. So once you've completed all the assignments in the start here, and once I've posted a grade for them, you'll be able to go into the next module. So week 2 is the only week you'll see so far, okay? So yours may look slightly different than my view since I'm in the instructor view today. But I'm going to pop this stuff open so you can kind of see what's in here. Just a reminder, unit overview pages are important. And that leads me to remind you about coming in through the content and the folders instead of going through the grade book or the calendar, because you don't want to miss all the resources and other things that I provide for you, okay? So the unit overview is different than the module overview because it focuses a little more on the week. And it gives you your module learning outcomes and the actual to-do list up front, just so you can kind of see what we're doing this week. Okay, so it's important to look there. And I'll house these videos that I'm making in those overview pages as well. Now, I always give a little video, a little bite-sized little lesson. Sometimes it's me, sometimes it's something that I think might be better than what I do, or it's shorter than what I tend to do. So I try to find little bite-sized videos for you guys to get you thinking before you do assignments. And so this is one of those. Just a little YouTube video that I think is very helpful and that I like a lot. So just all you have to do is watch that video, and then before you get to the first Smart Book reading. Now, you all probably already did a Smart Book overview tutorial in your Connect orientation. I reposted it here in case you missed it or don't remember. So technically it's optional. You can watch it or not, but just make sure you have an understanding of what Smart Book is all about when you do those assignments. It's very user-friendly. So the important thing to remember about Smart Book is that you're reading chapters that I've assigned from the book, essentially. So you could also just go straight to your ebook and read it. However, you won't get a grade if you do it that way because you need to do the questions that are a part of this link. So that's the difference between the regular ebook and the Smart Book assignments, is that the Smart Book is reading with questions, and that's how you get your completion grade. Okay, so click on this, and it'll take you through that process of where you choose to read first or you choose the questions first. There's not a wrong way to do it as long as you are answering those questions. And just keep in mind that you have that little progress bar at the top to help you kind of figure out where you're going. And the other reminder about Smart Book is you don't have to do it all in one sitting. It's not timed. So you can close it out if you get tired or overwhelmed. And you can also revisit it later, and it'll save your place. Okay, so that's the nice thing about some of these Connect assignments. And the other thing to remember is if you do get questions wrong, you're not penalized in the way that you typically think you would be. So it might extend the assignment a little longer because it'll feed you the question again later after it's called adaptive learning because if you get something wrong, it gives you a resource to read or it helps you find the information. So that's something to think about and remember with the Smart Book assignments. So you'll have 2 of these to do this week, Chapter 1 and Chapter 2. And so these are foundational readings that kind of set the stage for what we're doing, why critical thinking is important, and we're going to build upon that when we start working on our papers, okay? So I also have a quiz for you. You have 2 attempts on these quizzes, but the release condition for the quiz is that you finish this first with a 90 or better, and as long as you complete it, you'll have 100%. Okay, so that's the condition before starting the quiz. Now, if for some reason you have an issue, I don't know, it's rare, but it could happen that you didn't finish it for some reason or you had a glitch. I, of course, would work with you on that situation should that arise. So we know how technology is. It's not perfect. Sometimes it's glitchy. So just reach out if you have any kind of issues with the SmartBook before you get to the quiz. And the same thing for the SmartBook 2, and there's a Chapter 2 quiz. Okay, and I also put a video here before you start the Chapter 2 to help get you thinking about the content before reading. So think of it like a pre-reading support video. All right. And then the last thing on the list is in your assignments for the week is to do a reflection journal. And the topic is, am I a critical thinker? And so I give you a prompt and you respond to the prompt in your journal. Very similar to a discussion. It's set up kind of the same way. The only difference is other students don't see what you post in your journal. Only I see what you post in your journal. So journals are a bit of a safe place for practice, thinking out loud, thinking on paper, I guess is a better way to put it. So if you know, I'm not going to be scrutinizing your grammar on journals. I'm not going to, you're not going to be graded harshly on the journals. Aside from, usually the criteria for your evaluation on those is that you answered all the parts, you met, if there's any word counts, you met the word counts, and that the effort is there. So those are typically the criteria for those assignments. So I will give you all the instructions in each journal, okay? All right, and then don't forget the weekly summaries. Those just kind of, when you finish it, are good to review and see what you got. The other thing I want to remind you all of is just where your ebook is. You can open your ebook anytime, even while you're working on the SmartBook, because they're really separate. Even though they're both a type of access to your book. So your ebook is under the student resources, connect ebook, engaging questions. So feasibly, you could have this open in one screen and work on your stuff in another screen, right? That's not wrong to do that. So if you want to have, and so the ebook, this is the one that doesn't have the questions. This is just like if you were opening a book, a textbook, and looking up chapter 1 or looking up chapter 2, you can do that. And the other thing is to remind you that your ebook has a lot of really cool features that you can read out loud. There's ways to highlight and annotate, so make sure that you do play around with those tools. All right, everybody, I hope this helped you get started on your next unit, week 2. Have a great rest of your week, and if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out.